I'm still not happy about the gates on the keys. Ever since we went to the new engine, the keys don't work. They physically just don't work. I own, this is the only game that I own that the keys work like this. They're not compatible with any other like macro software. You can't bind keys to your mouse. You can't. I mean, I'm using all Logitech stuff, and every other game I got, I can bind keys to my mouse, but I can't with this game because of the way the keys are gated. And if you don't know what I'm talking about on that, as if you see, I got my knife on one, and I got my thing on 4. I can push 1, I get my knife. Push 4, I can get my thing. But if I push and hold down 1, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens, because the key is gated. It's gated. If you don't push it and release it, the release is the function, not the push is the function. No game that I know of works like this. No game that I've played anyway. I'm still holding 1 down, and I have still not got my knife. I have to push and say I can still hold down 1, and I'm still not getting it. I could release it. It's a push release in a certain time frame. Well, that was a 1 second push and release, and I still haven't got my knife. Push and release. I have to push it super fast, which is a very huge character control issue of switching weapons, heals, eating. Basically everything you do in this game is bound to that. Since I really hate the building system, and like I was building something big, you know, the system has it where you can bind to a quick bar, but with this gating system, I would never do that, because it's a overcomplicated building system stacked on with a gating mechanism. Why would I do that? Why? I find it easier to go. Well, one of the reasons I hate the build system is you have to go into a menu to select an item and then pull something back up and then go back into another menu to change the block shape and then go into another menu, and it's too many key presses. So the quick bar would be something that would solve that, but then there's this gating mechanism on top of the quick bar, and then if I would want to use it, if I was using, you know, say making a roof and I needed blocks and triangles out of wood, I would bind them to my key binders, and if I would take the time to do that, I would bind them to like 8 and 9, which I use for my heals and my stamina, my food items, which I have bound to my mouse, so I can basically do everything really quick with my mouse. But since the keys are gated, it doesn't work with any of your macro software. If any of you guys have any other brands of macro software that actually functions with this gating system of these keys, let me know in the comments, because especially if it's something, you know, that's pretty generic. I mean, Logitech is Logitech software. You download it. It works with almost, you know, most of my keyboards and mice are Logitech. I got a Microsoft keyboard, but you flip it over in the back, and it was made by Logitech anyway. So the Logitech software works on my Microsoft keyboard, but the software doesn't work with the game because of the way this gating mechanism is, and I really don't understand its function, what it's for, and I mean it's causing huge problems for me, and I don't see the benefit of it. Or what is it giving me? Is there some feature down the line that's going to make this awesome? Because right now all it's doing is really messing up a lot of my bases, makes it to where I don't want to play the game. And now I got this new menu system that are really, you know, 70 button clicks to do anything. It's just getting deeper and deeper into this inconvenience. And that's before we get to all the bugs.
I saw a boat land a bit.
Okay. Inventory. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are oversight, and they're not going to pop up for a little while, but when the debuffs start in a little bit, I've always hated the debuff system in this game because they're so buggy that they'll activate on you, and then there's no way to get rid of them. It's a permanent debuff. Always happens. One, as you see, my health is 500. In a little while, I'm going to be getting a viral infection or a upset stomach, or I'm going to be getting a little buff down here in the tray. And my health is instantly going to go to 300. And that buff will never disappear. I'm going to be stuck with that debuff for the rest of the game. The other thing I thought they would have fixed by now is hunger bar. We've got a debuff now associated. Like comfort, I don't really care because it doesn't affect me in any way yet. I still don't know what it does. This strength meter, I really don't know if that's just like health coupled with comfort or coupled with hunger. I don't know what the I mean, it says hunger now, but it's got strength. You know, it was strength meter before. It doesn't really. I mean, at least they did fix the. There's one of them random. I just got a random damage where I went down to 350. It came from nowhere. It just happened. You know, it's like, okay, I ran 20 feet and I'm debuffed for, yeah, it's that viral infection. Bacterial. It's weird now that it usually goes down to 300. This time it went to 350. I mean, I don't know what. And like I said, there's no. If there was something I can do, if there was something I can do to change that, it would be all right. I'd be okay with it. But they put it in, and it doesn't work. There's nothing. There's nothing I've tried, nothing I've done in this game that lets me undo that. So it's a mandatory debuff. So therefore, we don't have a game. What we have is a stacking of debuffs, a mandatory stacking of debuffs that just constantly stack on top of you with no way to get rid of it. Which, that's not a game. It's a. I mean, it's maybe a game for the developers. They just keep trying to I mean, it's not a game I'd want to play if I ran a business. Just constantly stacking debuffs on my players with no option for them to do anything about it. I would not. I basically would keep that system unimplemented in the game, and not put it in until it worked or functioned. This plant gathering material thing, man, this is really. It seems like it gets worse every game, every iteration of the game. We've had this so solid before, where people complained about this. I mean, you just clickbait and click and click and click and click, and you just right-clicking and like all over the place trying to find the area to get it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I stand here for like 20, 30 clicks and I can't get anything. And it's just like I don't know where the... Like right here, I'm clicking. I should be able to get it, but I'm not. I move just a tiny bit and it works. We've had this working before, but we don't anymore. And like I said, it's a super big inconvenience. I got to where I just don't gather resources anymore because it's just a pain. It's not fun. I'm wearing out my mouse button, clicking the crap out of everything, trying to get anything, and I can't. It's just a put a random jump number generator in there and just random give me stuff until you get that fixed, because it's really just not fun. Going around clicking, click. Okay, I'm 10 clicks in, I'm 20 clicks in, I'm 30 clicks in. I still can't get this. You know, screw that friggin' flower, you know? That's basically...
Boy, it's good to see you alive. What in the five hells happened? I heard a loud bang and down we went. Luckily for me, I was seated right next to a lifeboat.
Okay. The NPCs still, as soon as you click off, they run away from you. They just immediately turn away and they start. They have slowed them down. I'll give them that. They have slowed them down, which is a big help, because now when I...
What the? Did the shock regress?
See, he's having a conversation, but then he walks off. At least he's not hauling ass like he used to, because that was my biggest thing. You click off and he'd be freaking out of the frame before. But they still should, the menu system should stay. When you're having a conversation, when I click on this, it should go to this. When I click off of this, it should go back to the other one. Or integrate them in some kind of way, to where when I click on the person, only have this, you know. The options show up, and when I click, that's a bug where the new NPCs, I guess they're trying to get them to talk, but right now they just flap their gums. They're very strange looking. They all do it. All the non-vital NPCs, and only the females. So it doesn't seem like the males do it yet. Yeah, that would probably be the biggest thing, is to basically get rid of this screen when you click the NPCs. Just walk up, click the screen, have this show up down here. Get rid of this screen altogether. Don't make me go back and forth between this screen and that screen and this screen and that screen. And every time I go back and forth the screen, the NPC runs away. Get rid of one of these screens. Make this down here to where I get the option. When I get the option, I get the... if I click an option, it turns into the conversation screen, and then when I'm finished with the conversation, it turns back into the selection screen, and then still have the X button to get out of it in case I need to go into combat. Not this, oh, I'm having this conversation with Doc, I'm being attacked, get out of here, oh, I didn't get to read it, you know, go back, oh, I don't have that option no more, you know, I should be able to go back in You know, that would be my suggestion, would be to get rid of this screen altogether. Just walk up, come to the NPCs. This bottom screen has this information, and I never leave this screen. And if I click out of it without, you know, scrolling through the dialogue, for people who want to read the dialogue, it happens a lot. You get attacked, you have to exit out of the dialogue, boom, you've lost half the story. Especially if it's not voiced over. You can't recover that without restarting the game and going back just to read again. So put these options to where when I open this, it gives me all the thing, and until I go all the way to the end of that conversation, it automatically brings up this again. That way there's no, if I accidentally, you know, scroll to the bottom of this conversation, especially if it's like 20, 30 clicks long conversation, because toward the, like once you start getting into some of the stuff between the different separation of Mars and Earth, man, the conversations get ridiculously long, and that would be a good way to implement it. You know, force you to go through all of it to get rid of that option on this screen, which is now integrated with that screen, instead of back and forth and then the NPCs run away every single time.